Hi, I'm Amy Shannon from Amy's Bookshelf Reviews, and this is the featured YouTube review. I reviewed the book Beyond the Masked Kid by Dan Neiser, and it was really an interesting book. It's basically the synopsis of the book says, ride with the masked kid in his new white bat-winged Impala as he ventures across the northern prairies through rain, heat, and hail to the forests of Olympia on his way to graduate school. Be with him in his chemical adventures and hilarious faux pas as a teaching assistant. The triumphs and disasters continue as he discovers that once you put on a mask, it's hard to take it off. Um, I found that, there's a lot of imagery in the story. Um, it wasn't written in first person narrative, so you're kind of like, it's like you're going on a ride with the characters, and you get to know how his parents' affections and actions kind of like dictate in his mind of what he's supposed to do, and it's not exactly what he really wants to do. Well, I'll read my review, and Beyond the Masked Kid by Dan Neiser, I gave it 4 stars, and I call it a very unique and interesting adventure. What an interesting story in Beyond the Masked Kid by Dan Neiser. I haven't read work from this author before, and I enjoyed the story. The author brings the story to life, and the story is written in first-person narrative, and it is an integral part of the story. Basically, I think it's if it was written in, say, third person, it would be a different story. You're getting the narrator, the main character, his thoughts, his ideas, things like that. It's a very interesting story. First person is not always easy to write that way, but it's a really, it's written very well in that perspective. At first, I wasn't quite sure what I was reading, but after getting into the story, I found it to be unique and very interesting. I read a lot of stories and love different writing styles and storytelling abilities. The author had a writing style that fit the plot and its characterizations. The Masked Kid is almost a superhero, but really worked for it, doing jobs that led to nowhere. He writes in this chapter about the Batmobile, end quote, I always knew I was a writer, but I've been able to do anything because I've been forced into choosing an occupation which I could earn a living. I think a lot of writers can relate to that. This author has a great imagination, and the story brings the reader on an intriguing journey. Beyond the Masked Kid is a definite recommendation by Amy's Bookshelf Reviews, and I look forward to reading more stories by this author. You can find The Masked Kid on Amazon, and at the end of the video, the Amazon link to purchase this book is right there. This review has also been posted on Amy's Bookshelf Review website. I would like to read, I know I quoted a little bit of the this particular area in the story, but I wanted to read an excerpt from where that quote came from. It had morphed or maybe degenerated into a 4-passenger 1955 Chevrolet with a black top and ugly salmon-colored side panels. Its wings and afterburner were lost, or possibly had never existed in the first place. I always knew I was a writer, but I had been able to do any writing because I have been forced into choosing an occupation from which I could earn a living. You recall, both Dad and Mom had literally backed me into a corner and told me I could not go to college unless I choose a major that would serve that function. As the pressure mounted, I finally yelled, "Okay, I choose chemistry," because of the influence of a junior high school teacher. And as a result, I found myself back in Plateau City, waiting for graduate school to start. Now, the only way I could live here without going completely insane was to start writing. My wonderful first idea was about a kid who lived in a small town and had psychotically concluded that he was indeed the Cape Crusader. So, Again, it's called Beyond the Mask Kid by Dan Neiser, and I know he has other books within the series. So hope you pick one up, buy it for the author, and if you do, leave a review. Authors need as many reviews as possible. Thank you. This has been Amy Shannon from Amy's Bookshelf Reviews. Stay safe and be well.